Pastor David's phone rang. Looking at the number made his heart skip. His landlord would tell him it was an arson. Where will that leave him? He thought quickly before picking up the call. Hello, Mr. Barron, he greeted. Hello, Pastor David, he said with a low voice. Is your daughter out yet? He added. Yes, she is. Thank you, sir. I just got the result of the investigation and nothing to show that it had anything to do with house wiring or the gas in the house, but rather an arson. Do you know who might be after you that could possibly be a suspect? I think I will rather meet with you, Mr. Barron, to discuss this, rather than on the phone, he said, trying to buy time to have the issue discussed with Rose first. Okay, when will that be? He inquired. Will you be available in an hour? He said, looking at his wristwatch to see if he could finish before the evening Bible study. Okay, that will be good. What about meeting at my house? That will be very okay, sir. See you then, he said, and hung up, heading for Rose, who was busy in the kitchen. Pastor David had been praying and fasting and had given little attention to food except to make sure his family had enough to eat while he prayed. It was Mr. Barron, he said, stopping beside her in the kitchen. And what did he say? She inquired without looking at his face. The investigation has been completed and they found out that it was an arson, he said, wondering what her reply would be. You see, this is why I told you to report the case to the police. Now they will ask why you did not. If you mentioned the suspect, she said, looking at his face. He asked if I knew of anyone who might want to hurt me. But I told him I will meet him in an hour at home. I needed to reason with you first, he said, wishing he had done as Rose advised. I didn't want to put our lives further into danger by reporting them, and that was why I objected to it, he explained. I know, but it puts you in an awkward position too. Remember, this is not our house. We were renting, she said, worried. All right, I guess I'd better go with you, she added as she wiped her hands with the napkin. Where is Cynthia? He asked. She is in the room. I will tell her to clean up the kitchen, she said, hurrying to the room to fix herself. They discussed what to tell Mr. Barron as they left, trying hard not to justify themselves but put things exactly as they were, because it's likely the case might end up in court. They arrived at Mr. Barron's house and met him in the courtyard. Please be seated, he motioned them to a chair. Thank you, sir, they said simultaneously. I am so sorry for all that you have gone through lately, he said as he sat down. Pastor David could see the pain of loss written on his face as he looked at them, forcing him to have aged much more within a short time. I am equally sorry, sir, he said, adjusting himself on the chair. Coming to the question you asked, I am afraid to say there had been a particular young man after my life and family right from the other church I pastored, he said, clearing his throat before he continued. Oh, you are no more with New Covenant Church? He asked, looking surprised. I left after the issue I had with the gay couple. The elders asked me to retire because the case was affecting the church. How? He said, confused. I'd rather not go deeper, sir, he said, and tried to continue, but he realized he could not go too far from the matter as the young man in question is the one behind the arson. I am so sorry about this, the old man said with a blank look as though trying to figure out the way forward. You cannot keep this quiet as it is a threat to your life. The authorities deserve to know, he said, and cleared his throat again before he continued. I will ask my son Jeff what to do concerning the matter. Remember, he is an attorney. Yes, I know, sir, Pastor David replied. He will advise on how to go about it and we will take it from there. Okay, sir. I am sorry for the trouble I have caused you. Not at all. You were doing what the Lord called you to do. If your congregation that you have labored on all these years cannot stand with you, I will not watch this young man get away with arson and a threat to the man of God, he said as he stood up on his feet, and they followed suit, making their way to the car park.